In the bottom right-hand corner, the red Terran player. This is ByuN in our best of 5 series. He represents the Shopify Rebellion, of course, taking on the blue Zerg in the top left corner of the map. This is Dragon Kaiser Gaming's Dark. Well, ByuN is going to open with full-on aggression. Barracks 1 and Barracks 2 are going to come down just outside of Dark's natural. This is a very nearby proxy, so this is dangerous for Dark. The speed at which Marines will arrive from this is going to be very quick. And Sirius just mining away. Again, the hatchet coming through. There's a couple of barracks setting up over on that left-hand side. And just have ourselves a refinery coming up. Gets it going. Oh, the drone finds it. Okay, so the drone sees it. It's honestly a bit too soon to do much about it apart from pull more drones. Now, you're not going to cancel the barracks, but what you could maybe do... Actually, will we be able to get the SCV and stop barracks number 2 from finishing? I don't think so. So barracks 2 finishes. Obviously, now you can still maybe catch the first Marines with those drones. So that could still be a factor. The SCVs go running. First Marine is going to pop out. It's in a safe corner! Oh no! It's unattackable over there! And Dark didn't know about it! Oh, that Marine is unengageable, so the drones couldn't catch. That means Dark kept the drones around for longer than he needed to without any reason. Now obviously the SCVs are zoned out, so there's not going to be a bunker coming up here, but that is actually still a pretty big win for ByuN, because then Dark, like I said, he lost more mining time without getting anything out of that. Marines chilling, just obviously need to be in some better numbers to maybe make something happen right now. As there's a couple of drones can't get back home. ByuN factory already on the way. Remember, this is just a 2-rack, so you're not fully committed. You do generally transition out of 2 barracks proxies as the Marines continue to wander forward a little bit. The factory coming up, extra Marines on the way. A few Zerglings and a couple of Queens continue out here at the moment from Dark. As our Marines are going to sit out the front. And the Overlord finishing up. Factory going to build up a reactor. Get that ready to roll straight away there. Let's just have ourselves a couple of Queens move through. The Marines are going to get held back. The Lings going to slip away down that left-hand side. So they're going to make a bit of a move as the barracks lift off. They're going to back away as well. The Marines coming back over. And just seeing a few more drones. The Queen, the reactor, the command center. Everything on the way right now is from ByuN. Factory will be finishing a reactor. Our Marines are going to fall back. Honestly, I don't hate the fact that we just have a bunch of Marines that are going to get back home now. Yes, ByuN CC is going to be late. There's not going to be too much Dark can really do to stop it. He delayed a slight amount with 1 Zergling on the other side, but that shouldn't continue as the Marines get back. Dark just now starting up a 3rd hatchery. That Ling goes down. Looks as though ByuN may go back on the map. He could go a couple options. Clear out the watchtower, or he could maybe go and try and get the 3rd hatch if Dark doesn't build units for a bit. These Marines maybe could be good to jump on top of a hatchery, so possibilities abound. Possibilities abound. As we just have ourselves the Rotron halfway done. The extractor still coming up. Hatchery continues through. And the Queen just about to finish as well on the side of Darks. Again, that Queen completed. A couple more Overlords building. The Viking and Hellions from ByuN continue in. The Marines are going to come up here. Cryptima goes down already. Hatchery will begin to take some pretty hefty shots. So the Hatchery, like I say, he could get up here, and if Dark's being a bit greedy, this hatchery could be a target. There's only a single Queen. ByuN backs it up, respects the Queen. There are now plenty of roaches on the way. And of course, ByuN's probably afraid of Ling speed potentially finishing, in which case those Marines would be fully sacrificed. So he's going to respect, because again, he doesn't have a full scout. He doesn't see that Dark is just building roaches and skipping Ling speed. If he knew that, he probably would have stuck around to kill the hatchery. Or at least try to, which I think he would have gotten before roaches were really out and in position to defend. Roaches continue down the bottom right. Starport is going to set up a reactor. Medevac loads up. And a group of Hellions are going to go toward the main base. Just as Dark is moving across the map with the Roaches, so he will not have as much at home defensively as you might expect him to. So this could be a weak point here for Dark. Hellions do not do much at all. Queens and Lings defensively, great setup. Marine count okay. Tank is going to be the best part of defense of this, as the Roaches don't realize there's about to be a tank. Yeah, now you're in too deep. And these Roaches get absolutely blasted backward. The Morphing Ravager will get cancelled up as well. And this, quite simply put, is just going to be a solid defense from ByuN. Letting the Roaches come so deep in, and then the tank just so close is able to start firing. Usually if Dark had seen the tank fire initially, he would have never run that far in. But obviously he saw no tank shots, so he's like, okay, I can go deeper. Maybe he's just building Marines. No, not the case, as now the Hellions have dove in once again. They've not really been successful in finding drones just yet, but killing off a few Lings, keeping the Queens busy. Looks as though ByuN will not find too much from these as they just continue to run around the main base for a few more moments. Honestly, feels like they are already done. And now ByuN is pushing, and I guess not wrong too. Stim is about to finish. Dark just lost all of his Roaches, which honestly doesn't happen. Usually if these attacks fail, you keep a few Roaches back, but he lost all the Roaches, and now, well, no Stim done still. The drone's being pulled into the Marines. 18 workers dead. The Queens are going to show up, but Dark knows that that's too much damage taken, and the super volatile early game here goes the way of ByuN. ByuN is going to find himself up. That's so funny. I didn't know Max Packs had won one, actually. I completely missed that at some point. Alright, well, in the bottom right-hand side, my friends, we have ourselves the red Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion up 1-0. This is ByuN. As in the top left, we have the blue Zerg from Dragon, Kaisi Gaming, Dark. Game number 2. And the barracks will not be in the main base, but they'll just be on the natural expansion this time around, which is a little bit of a friendlier approach, at least from ByuN. A little bit friendlier than what we just saw at the very least, so there's something to be said about that. Overload continues to the bottom right, the 2 barracks then coming up. We have seen Dark, as I mentioned in the QS series, he's lost his 3rd hatchery to low amount of Reapers a lot of times recently, so I wonder if that's one of the goals ByuN will have here as he gets his Reaper play set up in full. So you do gotta imagine, right, that if Dark just gets into that macro game that he played against Kua, it is not gonna be an easy time at all with not gonna be an easy time at all for ByuN. But getting there is absolutely no guarantee. Let's just have a couple of Reapers coming up. Everything getting settled for a few moments. It's taking a little while to get ourselves established. Getting a couple of Reapers, a couple of Lings, a couple of Queens. Ling speed as well, all coming through for the moment. Our drone's going to move onto the map. There is a little bit of first Reaper action coming up, about to show up on the other side. So that just hops into the main base. There it is. Then we'll start a dance with a couple of Zerglings and the Reaper. Don't mind me, guys. Just trying to break my phone as I quickly try to check something. Throwing it around the place, apparently. Reaper firing up a couple of shots, damage being dealt. We do have our Reapers going to be forced away. Dark now puts his 3rd hatchery down over on that right-hand side, so just gets that up and rolling. One Reaper falling low. Let's continue through. A couple of CCs continue up. Queen's getting some shots off. Reapers will take some damage. Our Lings and our drones will continue to take some shots as well. So again, damage being taken. As you hop back down to the low ground, these Reapers get back and around. 7 more drones in production. We have a Reaper coming back over. And drones coming about. Lings come over. Queen gonna fire. And he's gonna be able to kill off that Reaper. So Reaper does go down. Obviously now with the Reaper's dealt with. Yeah, I mean, Dark did it reasonably. He didn't really get caught up. He didn't lose too much. Didn't get a third hat-trick cancelled, right? These are the things we've been discussing a lot lately. And that third CC finishes up in the main base. The starport is about to finish. It can jump up and land onto the tech lab. Stimpack's halfway done here from ByuN, so he's already well on the way to the bio upgrades. That will give him strength through to the next stages of the game, so... And he is going to go Cloak Banshee as well. Wow, so to go such a fast stim, and then Banshee feels so delayed in comparison to the stim, but maybe that's something that would catch Dark off guard. If you're too busy preparing for the stimmed Marines and the Banshee shows up, there's a world in which that can be quite a frustration, so something to watch for there for sure. Absolutely some possibilities for a little bit of mayhem to be caused. And that Banshee coming up, Cloak is on the way. There and the Baneling Nest both coming up on the side of Dark. Again, the 8 additional drones coming through, the Queen as well. And just dropping our mule down in that natural mineral line. The engineering base will continue up with the Banshee, Marines, and Cloaking. Will continue as well. There's already one Banshee out. Second Banshee on the way. All of this now beginning to come on through. Well, our melee upgrades continue through. The Ling's on the way, the Lair about to finish. +1/+1 combat shield all coming in. Let's just have ourselves the couple of additional Marines building. Really waiting to see what the Banshees do. I mean, ByuN's army's getting powerful. It's getting a lot of Marines getting upgrades. These Banshees are meant to get set, right, as the Banshees begin to move on forward. Infestation bit is coming through. As the Banshees, like I say, cloaking in. We do not have any spores, man. This is such a killer. No Overseer here either. And there's no Overseer that's been made, so we're just going to kill the first Queen just like that. Then we're going to get some drones. They try and retreat away. 1, 2, 3. Actually, run out of Cloak on one Banshee and the other. It's going to get deactivated as well. So he's just going to preserve some energy. Gets a Queen, gets a few drones. And talk about just throwing in a little bit of disruption. And now you move out with this Marine attack. Just as Dark is like, crap, gotta rebuild some drones, gotta build a Spore Crawler. Suddenly, you're also going to be under attack from a big Marine force. Now, there's a good amount of Lingbane on the map. Is that enough, though, to deal with this Marine counter? Well, ByuN is setting up. He scans the main base, but he's setting up to run into this low ground position. The Banes will start to come through, and the Banes should be enough to force ByuN back here. In fact, ByuN will even lose a few Marines in the process, as now he jumps in the main base. Queen's there, positioned well from Dark. Such good preemptive play. Just knowing the kind of things that ByuN likes to do, knowing the tricks that ByuN likes to play, and he just says, no. Not against me, ByuN. You're not going to have that easy of a time, as he just gets in position. And that is important because it really stops you from being pulled apart. It really stops you from being pulled around. And like I say, that's a big important step to just be in a better position in general. Let's kind of see the Hive coming through. +2/+2 melee upgrades coming up. Overlord speed is on the way out as well. As our Lingbane continues through, the Marines will load back into Medivacs. +2/2 upgrades still coming by. Just got ourselves the Burrow, and again the Hive on the way up as well. Plenty of Lingbane building through. 9 more Banelings coming up. And Marines wanting to come forward, and they will engage onto a handful of those Zerglings. Just a little bit more damage dealt. There's 3 additional barracks come in. Our Marines will take down a couple of Crypt Humans. I think ByuN just clicked on the Morphing Overseer there, and he just died to Banelings. That was a very ByuN-like situation. As 2/2 melee upgrades continue up. There's the 2/2 engineering base. SCV building up the command center. A few SCVs going, a few drones going down, sorry. It's going to be 4 workers killed at the moment. Our Queen taking some damage as well. Medevac loads back up. Queen is dead. Ling's coming back up to the top. That Banshee's going to come back over through the top side as well. Medevac's load up once more. The Lings are still going to chill out over there. Squawk Crawler firing up to hit those Banshees just a little bit. And both Banshees actually end up going down, so we will just grab those pretty much straight away here. As the Marines are going to continue to stim on through. And they are just going to try and see what they can find as they end up in the top right base. We killed a few drones, and the numbers starting to really favor ByuN a little bit. His army supply is just that much better than Dark's, which is surprising because I feel like ByuN's been taking some bad fights. He's been having some bad trades. That said, resources lost is still 1,300 in his favor. And now as Dark swarms down the bottom right side of the map, he's on his way to Adrenal Glands and on his way to 2-2, but neither of those ready just yet. He will finish 2-2 before ByuN does, so maybe a timing with 2-2 could be enough to overwhelm ByuN, but is Dark going to commit to it? Is Dark feeling brave enough to send it on that other side? He does save this hatchery. ByuN obviously has a lot of units moving around in those medevacs. That maybe gives you the, the chance to maybe dive. 2-2 finish from ByuN though, by the way, so upgrades would now be even. This Widow Mine's going to do decently. The Balins will crash through depots. ByuN knows these units are coming in over here. He did not pull his SCVs back. He goes chasing away some Ling Bane on the left side at the same time, and ByuN doing well enough on the multitasking. There is one burrowed Baneling that will try and get some damage. Not sure if ByuN paid attention to that because he probably was at the point where he's like, okay, I pretty much dealt with everything here. Probably looking elsewhere, and that's something you rely on when you set up those burrowed Banes. Did he just kill? He killed 14 SCVs in total. That burrowed Baneling's still there, but again, only one. Looks like we got ourselves a couple of kills, but nothing too crazy. Lings run through, SCVs, and the factory taking damage. The Ling's going to come turn onto a couple of Marauders. Other SCVs taking shots. 22, 23 workers going down and counting. Once again, Dark is finding good eco damage, but can ByuN find good damage himself? His army's still looking great. The Widow Mine surely going to hit a few Banelings. Didn't hit the bigger clump at least, so Dark gets out of jail free with that one. More Lings going down. Our Marine's still sitting over here. Medevac's taking some more shots. And again, 3 more Vipers coming through as 3 melee upgrades come in. The Chitinous Plate is coming out. Our Zerglings will continue to drop down. And that is +3 armor on the way from ByuN as well. So just getting that +3 armor coming through. The Marines and Marauder and SCVs are still coming through as well. And ByuN is back onto the map, still maintaining an army supply lead pretty much at all points so far. This first few Zerglings going to give themselves up. We're on our way through to Ultras, which is a good little addition to tech. We've got a few Infestors, we've got some Vipers. ByuN is starting to find himself a base kill perhaps. Widowmine surely going to get some kills. The Fungal is big, however, so many Zerglings went down there. The Widowmine will go not for the Infestor, still hits the Overseer instead. So the Infestor survives through this. And Infestor felt like he should have died 3 or 4 times over. As ByuN comes running through the top, more Lings are going to come by. Bio will sit here clearing out a lot of those Lings. We load up the medevacs, and we will escape away to the upper right-hand corner in the end. So a sequence of events that I feel like just generally favors ByuN. This comes out at a 20 army supply lead for him. He's down some workers, yes, but just generally it looks as though ByuN is in absolutely fantastic position. Lings coming running. As they come all the way across, just going to be seeing a Bio and Festa Burrow there just outside of the scan radius. And as ByuN going to find themselves these couple of units. Oh, the friendly fire kills 8 SCVs. This double parasitic bomb will guarantee the death of these medevacs. So ByuN actually taking a few bad moments there with the parasitic bombs, the SCVs getting friendly fired by mines. And unable to really break through to the other side. 5 bases from Dark. Pretty limited creep spread. Trying to take base 6 over to the far left. As he just tries in general to step up in this game. And another Widow Mine going off for the Baneling, so he takes that out. Marauder's going to stem up the right side. A couple creep tumors will begin to go down there. We'll continue to fight, and a lot of these Lings will continue to go down. There's a lot of Lings being shaved off already, and now Ling Bane going to turn down into this direction. Widow Mine going to go for some of those Banelings. We knock a bunch of them down. The Vipers are going to get a couple shots off. The parasitic bombs are good. Is there enough? Because they're not going to kill all these medevacs, but they'll bring them low. Is there some follow-up later? The Vipers will start to regather energy. ByuN obviously working down the ramp away from the creep spread. Widow Mine's here available, and it feels like Dark is starting to lose a lot. He does get a little bit of a crash in, kills a lot of supply all at once, but still about a 20 supply lead from ByuN as he maintains his lower ground. He is actually going to load up some medevacs. Low HP, needs to be careful with them, but wants to just split the damage elsewhere, hit the top right side of the map, while maybe moving the rest of the army. Still in the center, maybe could, take a step or two over to the left as well. Definitely some possibilities there. As Widow Mines burrow up, a couple of Lings will go down. And we started to step ourselves onto creep spread, taking down a couple of these creep tumors already, putting some work through there already. There's a couple more Widow Mines going out. They will start to blow up quite a lot of these Overseers. Parasitic bombs going down, and again, cleaning up some of these medevacs. All medevacs at least seemingly are getting away, so ByuN will maintain units there. But as medevacs go down, they're the kind of units that are a little bit more expensive to replace. We did kill his top right base and all the drones that went with it, so a bit of a loss for Dark, whose economy definitely isn't, supersonic or anything right now. 66 drones is pretty subpar for a later game scenario. And that's what ByuN has forced him onto as we find ourselves an Ultralisk here. If these Lings don't commit, actually the Ultra looks as though it's going to do fine against those Marauders. I don't think ByuN expected that, as a full medevac does go down top right of your screen to that Queen that we just saw underneath. So that is one of those medevacs falling. ByuN's still trying to keep up the pressure, but as he had a supply lead, Dark has just about scrapped it back. And scrappy fights are really the name of the game right now, as the Lings are just going to run into the natural. The last thing ByuN needs is to be taking economic hits himself. In a scrappy, low-eco game, you don't want to give Dark any possible edge. You want to try and keep him away from those advantages. See if he can do so as the extra Ultras coming up. The Overseers are on the way. 32 Zerglings are producing. Marine Marauder, Widow Mine all still coming out. As I do have Bioforce coming back through. The Ultra is going to get chased away again. The Marines are going to move forward, and there is a Liberator sieging up to get on top of a few drones. A couple of Queens will take some hits. First Queen about to go down. Bio still pressing upwards, still trying to get into position. So yeah, quite a few of those drones getting picked away. Bio continuing forward. The Balin's trying to come by. Widow Mines are going to go flying rain. A couple of these Ultras taking damage. More Zerglings taking shots. Parasitic bombs still in the skies. We dive forward looking for these Ultras. We're going to get rid of a couple more. Is the Bio too low to continue? There's one more Ultra he can target fire. Then we're going to lift up everything and just retreat away. The remaining Widow Mines on the ground get taken out. They can't be saved. There's no time to unburrow them as the Ultras are already on top. The Ultras continue to the other side of the map. Widow Mines will begin to burrow up. Or will they? No, we're going to save these units in a medevac. ByuN is going to give up this base and instead say, I'm going to drop across the map and you can have this base. I'll take another of yours. Note at this point that that's still ByuN's fault, so not having mining access to that base is really a big loss at this point in time. Dark is starting to break through onto the natural, and I really kind of think that Dark is maybe starting to do this here. A couple of Widow Mine shots, friendly firing some of the Bio units as well. Going to be adding damage in, and ByuN is kind of on a desperate last-ditch effort. He doesn't really have the money to keep himself going here. The Ultralisk tries to burrow to get out of trouble. He does a little bit of an unburrow. What's he doing? Stop it, Ultra. He unburrowed and reburrowed a few times. He's like, now you see me? Now you don't. Whack an Ultra. As our Bio chase back in ByuN's natural, the Zerg is swarming. And a game where Dark had to just hang on by a thread throughout. He is going to be able to knit it together and climb himself out of that ditch, and he's going to be able to take himself game number 2, isn't he? Wow. What an excellent game here on Hard Lad. Absolutely fantastic game number 2. These two guys absolutely stellar SC2, and Dark gets the better of ByuN on round 2 of this best of 5. That is actually a ridiculous game. Sorry guys, door went, and so I just grabbed myself a drink while I was downstairs as we dive into game 3. I've always turned into a great grand final today. Top right hand corner. Controlled a lot of that last game, but couldn't close it out. It's ByuN from the Shopify Rebellion. And Dark, our Blue Zerg from Dragon Kaiser Gaming. Alrighty guys, how we doing? Hello, welcome back. Great games so far today in the ESL Open Cup Korea. Gonna see a little bit more Dark later. I'm gonna be casting the Onside Gaming Dragon Kaiser Gaming World Team League match. That happened yesterday. I wasn't here yesterday, took a day off. So we'll be catching up on that today instead. And then we'll have our puzzles and survival sponsor. Talk more about that later on though, because that's TvZ. sets up already into a couple of barracks at the front door. It's just getting those up and rolling in the very first few moments. Third racks in the main base is going to become our discussion point because that obviously ups the aggression just a little bit. So that does become a little bit more aggro here. Second rack's about to finish, third racks will be on the way, so a bit more pressure from ByuN. Really wants to get the damage done early with those Reapers, really wants to try and control the game a little bit early on. Seems to be the plan. The Reapers come through, link speed is coming up. Let's get ourselves the, again, our Reapers continue to build, a couple of Queens and link speed all coming out for a couple of moments. Let's see how our Reapers go about things here. As they first move across the map. Am I stuck on the Overlord or something? Sorry guys, I was on someone's camera, but I thought they were just watching the barracks, but I think I was somehow stuck on the Overlord still. Apologies. So the Reaper micro begins. I get one Zerglin already. Sorry for that mishap on the observing. As we do have our command center going to go down. And the natural behind this, obviously this is absolutely 100% a cancel on the third hatch. If you don't cancel the third hatch, you want to do some serious damage with these Reapers instead. Tries to get the forward grenade on the Queens to do exactly that. Push the Queen forward further into the Reaper's path. Obviously, Reaper's able to stay back a little bit. That's now one dead Queen. Now going to get a second. This is the sort of damage you want if you're not going to cancel off the third hatchery when you're playing 3 racks Reaper. Now 2 dead Queens. It's only the Lings. 16 more of those on the way. ByuN will take a step back. Lings move over to the left-hand side. Hatchery's going to finish up there. Engineering Bay, a couple of reactors coming through. Queens and Lings all producing on the side of Dark as the Reapers will move on back to the top. Again, that stim pack coming up. Command center's about to finish. And a couple of Lings just moving through to the middle of the map as well. Reapers will chill out. A couple of these SCVs going to move around. Other SCVs moving back across also. Queens and Overlords continue to produce for just a few moments to get ourselves set up. Stim back, +1, factory coming through, the orbital command coming in. And then a few Zerglings is going to start nipping their way through this set of rocks, so opening this up, getting that completely on board here. As our Lings will, again, just get everything set to go. Got that stim pack and that +1 coming through, starports on the way. 10 more drones coming out from Dark. Bringing all of those up as well. And yeah, just going to see our Evo chamber coming through. A couple of drones coming out, Carapace and a few more Lings on the way out. Overlord on the way as the Reapers just come over, pick off the Zergling straight away. And the Reapers will hop back up to the high ground, so back into the main base they go. There's more Marines pouring out of the natural. Starport jumps on over to the reactor. The factory relocates just slightly also. Just having ourselves a few more Lings producing. The Overlords coming through. Reapers and Marines continue to gather together. That combat shield already starting up on the tech lab as well. So just getting that straight underway. And that combat shield start is obviously a nice little something as our Marines do step forward in toward the center of the map. Our Ling's going to go around the right-hand side. Going to try and counter here, but that's a wall off, so obviously just going to have to repair it. The Marines actually turn back around. Oh, sorry, the Reapers turn back around. Now 20 Marines as well, and they continue across the other side. Baneling Nest on the way. That's what Dark will need to latch onto here. If you don't have the Banelings, fighting these Marines is going to become kind of tough, as we're actually going to try and fight the Marines in the speed zone. I don't like it. I don't think the speed zone really helps the Zerg at all in this situation. The Terran being like back up against the wall I thought was going to help him a lot more. Apparently it's enough to win the fight, and wow, Dark just stops ByuN in his tracks. I thought that was going to go terribly for Dark. But that's why Dark's the one calling the Zerg shots and not me, because, yeah, he picked that fight, he chose it. It was good. Did the acceleration help, really? I mean, I guess it helped you close the distance a little bit, but I felt like generally the Terran was still back up against the wall. I didn't think the acceleration did too much there, but maybe just enough units from Dark either way. Maybe I'm just misreading it as ByuN continues through. He's going to lift up, head into the main base. The Lings are going to continue to move around. ByuN will just try and drop in a corner as far away from where Queens can get to as possible. And obviously this should turn into a decent fight. +1 against 0-0 just gives you a few shots off on those Lings where you can absolutely take the advantage. Yo, CK87, thank you so much for the 3-month resub on the Prime. Greetings. How you doing? Thank you so much for priming us up today. As our Marines continue forward, and just going to be seeing the Lings getting here. They're going to be forcing the lift off, so those medevacs will have to pull back one more time. Flare coming up, Lings, Queens on the way out, melee upgrade coming through. We are going to unload these Marines back onto this Overlord. He's going to grab a couple more Lings. The Bayonet's taking damage. There's Hatcher on the low ground taking shots as well. The rest of these Zerglings still running through. A couple drones continue to die. Bayonet's being grabbed as well. It does genuinely feel as though we have ourselves the game wrapping up here, as we just have ByuN suddenly just diving through for a bunch of damage, denying the 4th, killing the units on the 3rd. Suddenly ByuN's army is just a bit too much. The damage overall in this game clearly did become too much for Dark. As in the top left-hand side, the red Terran player who finds himself up in the match, it is going to be, that's right, you guessed it, ByuN! Taking on in the bottom right, our blue Zerg player from Dragon Kaiser Gaming. This is Dark. So game number 4, and ByuN's going to go back to the full-on proxy mode play as he sets up across the map. Gets that settling down pretty much immediately here. Let's just have ourselves a few moments of establishment. The Overlord is going to spot this straight away. That's obviously bad for ByuN. Dark walks right into it. I mean, now he's going to pull drones. With the Overlord here, he's going to cancel barracks number 3 and try and just make this more of a 2 barracks. I don't think ByuN's going to be too happy about being spotted so soon on this one. I don't think he's going to be loving that. So, yeah. Definitely not great if you're ByuN. I mean, that's obviously going to put you into a tough starting spot. As now you lose one SCV, the second SCV is not going to finish barracks 2. This is a disaster start, honestly, from ByuN. This is one of those openings that just goes completely haywire. And it does look as though ByuN is going to be playing from quite the deficit. Single racks will get a single Marine out. I mean, does Dark just drop a Rotoran down here and just try and kill ByuN? Because obviously ByuN's opening is going to be terrible. A Rotoran could be very punishing in this sort of scenario. The drones are faster than a Marine, so the Marine will die here, as that one drone does get away as well, sneaking out of there. Yeah, CC coming up. Our Reaper's about halfway done. Let's have ourselves again a couple Queens, the couple Lings, all coming out. Extractor and the drone coming through. And again, the Reaper is going to head down towards that bottom right-hand side. 2 Queens, halfway done right now. The Reaper is going to pop, and ByuN will try and get an expansion up. Let's see what Dark does. I mean, obviously ByuN's not going to be on the most, succinct of builds initially. Any timing that ByuN might hit here should not really be as scary as it could have been with a different start. He nearly gets that drone, but it becomes a spore crawler, so doesn't even manage to grab himself a kill here early on. Yeah, this is obviously, a little bit of money spent from Dark pulling drones to deal with this, but absolutely money well spent because, that's just such a denial on ByuN's build order. Like I say, everything from ByuN from here on out is going to be in a bit of mishap. It's going to be a little bit off from what it wants to be. It's definitely going to be a bit problematic. Cyclone build and command center coming through. Barracks is going to move into that main base. Extra drones producing. Queen on the way out. Creep team is coming by. We have a hatchery just on that 3rd base getting set as well from Dark. A few more drones coming up. continue to get things moving along just for the moment. We do have ourselves a couple OVs, the circling speed coming by, again command center, starport, reactor, all coming through for a few moments right now. As our tech cloud comes up on the barracks, Cyclone pushing across. Overlord is going to be chilling as our couple of queens going to drop some injects. So one queen injects, the link speed still coming through, a couple of SCVs are producing along. We just wait to see where this goes, because obviously ByuN is going to be fairly passive. He's going to build that third CC. He built a Cyclone because he's expecting to potentially have to deal with aggression of Dark, which is probably not a bad guess. As I said before, would not be surprised at all if Dark did bring the fire across the map, so couldn't be surprised by that in the slightest. As the queens get over there, the Reaper gets pushed away, and it's going to be the Banshees from ByuN to try and start clawing himself back into a little bit of the setup on this game. Currently down 16 workers. And the thing is as well, it's not necessarily that your own economy doesn't just take hits. It's that your own economy... It's that the Zerg's economy is stronger because they have no reason to fear you. Right? So yeah, your own build might not be as great as usual, and because of that, the Zerg build can be even better than usual. So that's the double whammy. That's the, the bonus kind of, from Dark in this scenario. As ByuN just starts up double engineering bay, gonna really look to just play into 1-1, the 3 bases, and maybe he does just try and play it late. ByuN can play a pretty mean long game of SC2. So I think that's absolutely the best way to get out. Well, it might be the best way to get out. Like, if you're not going to do much with your aggression because you know Dark's going to be prepared enough, yeah, why not just play the macro and just go as hard on the macro as you can? I don't hate the concept. I think it's actually a pretty reasonable way to set up. Like I said, ByuN definitely knows at the start of this game did not go the way he wanted it to, so that alone is typically pretty good information. As we do have ourselves the Baneling Nest coming up, the Evo Chambers coming out, Flare's about to finish, a few Overlords on the way, Barracks are building on the side of ByuN. The setup continues in this Game 4, and Stark looks to take us to a 5th map of our Grand Finals today. Bling's going to attach themselves to a set of rocks over on the right side, so they will begin to go down. As again, those Evo Chambers going to start cranking out the 1-1 melee upgrades. The Cyclone pressing forward. Banshee's going to cloak. The Lings are going to continue after the rocks. They're going to back away now. A couple of Queens continue up the sides. Going to get in position, and that first Banshee is going to be met and turned around. So Banshee's not going to do much immediately. Lair is done. Overseer's here, and that's one dead Banshee trying to chase the Queen. And ByuN not even having success with the Banshees. This game is really just in the throwaway pile, honestly, from ByuN. He's going to try. He's not going to give it up for nothing, but this is one of those games where if you lose in 2 minutes to like a bit of a Zerg A-click, it's just whatever, right? Like, this game is kind of being decided earlier on already. A lot of stuff has already happened early in this one, so something to watch. Hydrodan coming through. Hive is a building. We get ourselves the 1-1 melee upgrades, the Baneling speed, all coming out. So all of this coming through. This Banshee's going to slip across in toward the main base where Queen says good night, knocks it down. Now the Lings get over here, they will take out the rocks, and we just see our Marines, Mines, and the Cyclone back over toward the center. A few more Lings coming out, Hive still coming through, Baneling speed is about to come up to play. Those melee upgrades along with it as our +2 attack is now starting. Combat shields on the way as well, +1 armor finishing at least from ByuN. A very slight upgrade timing window that ByuN has. I just don't think he has enough army to do anything with it, and even if he did, look at all the creep spread he would have to work through to be able to do something. There's just creep everywhere. It's all the way up through the middle of the map. That's looking pretty good on the side of our Zerg player, who does catch a few units here. Obviously, medevac retreat is available. Wouldn't mind, might get a shot off, gets a couple Lings, nothing too crazy. Will die to the Overseer now, so ByuN just unable to find a way, shape, form, anything really so far. As our Lings and Hiders will turn back onto a set of rocks over here, just open up this left-hand area. As again, plenty more Lings coming up. A couple of hatcheries continue through. So much coming up at the moment. Dark turns these Marines back into the center. Medivacs as well. Everything joins together. Drop another factory down. Wooden Mine goes off. Lings and Banes and Hydras continue to the left. See the Wooden Mine getting picked. Again, just going to be seeing our Adrenal Glands coming through. +2 melee. Overlord speed. We're kind of just waiting for... I mean, Dark is going to start fighting as he maxes out and gets a lot of these upgrades. Hydra is continuing through for a little bit as we're just going to go into the center. Army sets up, and Marine's going to come over the side. Medevac's going to come through. Here we go. Ling Hydra Bane going to launch forward. Widow Mines are maybe the saving grace potentially here, but the reality is we're probably seeing ByuN die as the Banelings press on forward up this ramp. Couple tanks on the right side are not really in the right position. And let's just see. Command Center is going to go down. The Lings continue to stream through. The tanks getting picked away at. SCVs will continue to drop. Banelin's just going to bust through even more SCVs. Dark is going to take us to all 5 games today. We are going to go the stage. In the bottom left-hand side, our blue Zerg player. Well, I said bottom left, right? But I also said blue Zerg player. So let's do top right. Blue Zerg player is going to be Dark. Usually I mix a color up or a corner up or something. I don't usually do the correct corner, then the correct player in race, but on the wrong side. Dark at the top right and the bottom left is going to be the red Terran player. It is ByuN for game number 5. Alrighty, comes down to this tournament, today's event. ByuN trying to become tied 3rd most winning player of Korean Open Cups. Dark continuing to extend his lead as number 1 if he wins today. Great games. This has been a great final, actually. Really good series of StarCraft 2 thus far. There's a few drones and a hatchery just going to come in. We've got a Rex and a Gas coming out as well, so all of that getting set. There's a few SCVs going to mine it up. Barracks on the way through. And yeah, Hatch and Gas all coming up for the few moments here as we get ready to rumble. So Hatch, Gas, and Pool all on the way out. Our drone on the way through as well. Overlord. Apparently we're following the Overlord shadow. Beautiful. You know, really just taking a moment. I appreciate that. The graphics here in StarCraft 2. Alright, gonna go and jump onto the Overlord, start to get some damage dealt there. The Overlord is gonna get pushed over the side. The barracks is there to provide the vision. And just double checking it doesn't get to high ground again. The barracks came back around and the Overlord will drop. So that is a dead Overlord early. That does mess with your build just slightly, so a little bit of something on that one as we come back over with those couple of Marines. Baneling Nest is coming down. Lings and Queens and Overlords and Ling Speed all coming up. And these couple of Marines will get out to the center of the map as well. What's up, BBB dude? Thank you so much for the 39-month resub on the Prime. Crap, I just saw an ad. Got a resub. Thank you so much for resubbing. Thank you for using the Prime on the channel. Look at that super fast Baneling Nest from Dark. He wants to round this series out almost immediately here. He does not want this to go long. Because it's not Reapers, it's just Marines. This could be very, very good for Dark. We are going to start building Hellions, though, from ByuN. Now, that's actually very interesting, because Hellions... actually, one of the things that this build probably doesn't work out against, so I think ByuN is on the right track to give himself a good opportunity. A couple of Lings will just take the Watchtower, and more Lings just in general from Dark making their way down the bottom. Starport about to finish Orbital Command, going to be done very soon. And those couple of Marines are going to get back behind the depots. The Hellions pop out, and we have a lot of Lings out in the middle of the map. Oh, Hellions obviously out in the open. The Warlock isn't even here. So that just means the Lings can go around the top side. A couple of Banelings morph right on top of this natural. Well, There's a lot of Banes coming up in general. 2 more Hellions will spawn. They spawn on the outside, though. I think ByuN didn't really... oh, he got caught by a single Zergling. Oh, the 2 Zerglings there pinned the Hellion up against the wall. I mean, that was so avoidable from ByuN, though. I mean, that was completely on him. He didn't need to rally the Hellions out in that position to begin with. Cutting backwards here, trying to deal with the Banelings, trying to stop that low HP Hellion from getting hit. And so far, he's kind of doing it, but I just don't think he has the defense. The SCVs probably need to try and save a couple of these Hellions on low HP and try and repair them up. Another Baneling connects. The SCVs will try and get in front now. The 1 Hellion, probably not enough as the SCV count is about to get gutted by these Lings and these Banes as they continue to come through. 20 SCVs coming down. I was going to be seeing a couple of those Lings getting picked up. 21 SCVs going down. The Lings continue to go by. This really does seem as though that is going to be a little bit too much. I mean, the Banshee just doesn't clean up these Lings soon enough, right? So the Lings can continue in. Even more SCVs will fall, and Dark looking to put his stamp on this game as he's just going to, on this series, on this tournament. Lings continue by. Hellion coming up. Starport coming through. And a couple of more Lings continuing by. 0 SCVs left from ByuN. He'll try and let the Banshee do something, but it's obviously an unrealistic return to this game. There's no way you get this all the way back. Banelings blow up a Mule and an SCV. Yeah, ByuN eventually going to type GG. And it's going to be Dark taking it 3-2 with the Bane Burst to get the job done at the very end. You, Luthie, thank you so much. 10-month resub. Didn't see an ad, but I should resub.